yourself and be surrounded by those who want to see you blossom and or bloom. Blossom and or bloom. I am Jessica. Sup? I am a Reiki master teacher and intuitive, and today we have a special healing session. It's going to be a very deep, transformative meditation channeling session. So if you're new to the community, welcome babies. This is your nightly self-care routine, a place to just relax, be yourself, and most importantly, take care of yourself. So for all of my new babies, welcome. And to all of my returning babies, welcome back. Mama loves you. So let's go ahead and get started. So, if you're new, we start our session off with a prayer. It is not a religious prayer, it is just a prayer to root us in our individual healing experience and to bring us together as a collective and as a community. And because consent matters, do I have your permission to say a prayer? Okay. Let's begin. Dear universe and all for the highest vibrational good only, please connect us to our highest self and validate information from our highest self only. Please allow us to let go of what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I Am. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Okay. So, as you're breathing here, begin to connect with your deepest understanding, your deepest self. I'm gonna light some cinnamon. And this will allow you to feel safe, to relax, to be in this moment with yourself, to be safe, to relax, to be in this moment with yourself, to be safe, to relax, to be in this moment with yourself, to be safe, to relax, to be in this moment with yourself. Now, we're just going to swipe over your energy so that we can cleanse anything that's been taking up too much space. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhale, exhale. Now, in a comfortable position, begin to close your eyes if you'd like to. And breathe in and out. Feel this beautiful, cool grass all around you. The beautiful sun on top of your face. A slightly soothing, warm breeze floating across you that spot for hours. Everything is to your greatest comfort, and you enjoy it, every little piece and every little moment that you are there. As you sink into the ground, just almost feel as if something is dripping off of you. Something like a honey or a molasses or something like that just dripping off of you. And it's just everything you need to let go. And you return that back to the ground so that it can nourish the ground, that it can feed some other cycle of energy. But you release that excess energy, sending it on, sending it under you, sending it beyond these moments. Breathing in and out here. Exhaling. Breathing in and out. Exhaling. Now start to slowly feel water just right around the legs. Right around the head. Right around the arms. And relax. And relax. And relax. Relax, relax. Feel this soothing water begin to heal all of those areas of your body, your life, your soul, your destiny that needs some extra TLC. And accept that you deserve to be healed. Accept that you deserve to move on. Accept that there is a greater and a bigger world out there for you to experience, to enjoy, to learn, to grow. All of those things, all of those things, all of those things, all of those things, all of those things are right there, available to you. If you would like them, they are available to you. If you need them, they are available to you. And if you want them, they are available to you. Enjoy this feeling. Enjoy this moment. Enjoy this clarity that you have. That for whatever reason you were born into this life to serve out whatever purpose that you needed to serve out. That you feel comfortable and content doing that. That this is the life that you wanted. That this is the life that would allow your soul to grow and to evolve in a new way. That each moment revealed a new puzzle piece of who you are and why you're here and what you need to accomplish. Making peace self-worth and confidence. And hyper-focusing on what gives you purpose, what gives you balance, what brings you into this space, what gives you what you need, what shows you where you are going, what fills you in so many ways. Exhale, release. Allow beautiful rain, now raindrops, on a warm day, cooling you off. Allow it to just cleanse every piece of you, all the way to a cellular level, all the way to the soul. Release it. 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 And relax. Take this moment to ask yourself any questions. Take this moment to plan, problem solve, organize, create, co-create. Take this moment and accept responsibility for your soul. That what you do with it is your choice. But it is a choice that you must make. That within infinite lifetimes and being connected to each other, we seem to find our way back here to learn something new, to grow in a new way, to experience in a new way of experiencing. Nothing ever really disappears. There's not one bit of energy that no longer exists. But at the same time, those same things are used to create the building blocks of the next energy. The energy that is surrounding you, protecting you, guiding you, and encouraging you to find your way and find your path. Just going to these different points to activate your karmic destiny, to build yourself, to stabilize yourself, to love yourself wholly and unconditionally as you go on this journey forward, this journey to truth. Now allow the rain to dry on up and for your body to become lighter and lighter. You see yourself begin to float high above the ground where you had the water, the rain, and the grass, the molasses, the wind, you are in the sky, and underneath you, all you see is clouds, and above you, you see the sun. Here, let your soul roam free, enjoying these moments of peace and beauty, and be okay with this journey you are on in this life. Be okay. Now allow your energy, your soul to come back into your physical body, bringing awareness back into your limbs, your face, front, back, side body, the energy around you, in your room. Couple more breaths here. Welcome, welcome, welcome to all my new babies, and welcome, welcome back to all my returning babies. Mama loves you. Okay. So, as we work on restoring your energy, it's going to be pulling away excess energy, negative energy, any kind of feelings that are anxious or anything like that. Maybe even overthinking, cooling and calming down the aura. But before we get started, we say a prayer. It is not a religious prayer. It is a prayer to root us in our individual healing experience and to bring us together as a community and as a collective. And because consent matters, do I have your permission to say a prayer? Okay. May I touch you? And just remember to continue your breathing here. It's really important. It doesn't have to be too deep, but it shouldn't be too shallow. Just be mindful, be regular with it, because a lot of times in everyday life we actually don't breathe deep enough. And so just think about all of the oxygen we are cutting off from our brain. And a lot of times, a lot of just mindful breaths can really help alleviate some of the just everyday symptoms we have of just not having that oxygen to our brain and to our body. But sometimes when we breathe so deeply, we get lightheaded, which can be a good thing if you are like anxious and you just feel like all over the place. Sometimes those deep breaths kind of just calm you down. Another thing for anxiety is like if you could physically go into action and burn off the excess energy. I actually got that from Netflix. Has this series. It's called Explained. That's what it's called. They talk about a lot of stuff, but they were talking about the mind. They have this kind of like, it's like a limited series about the mind. So good. And then they went over anxiety. Oh, that was really good. And they were talking about how like your body gets in a state of fight or flight when you're anxious. And they were talking about, well, how do you relieve that and what systems shut down when you're anxious? But one way to burn off that excess energy is, as they were saying, like exercise or something that really takes movement. And I'm like, wow, that's free. That's free. Just run around a little bit. But it's just very interesting and very fascinating, you know. And I think what really like got me was the evolutionary perspective of us as a species, you know, like where our species is about 200,000 years old. You know, hominids date back probably over 6 million years, but our specific species, Homo sapiens, it started around 200,000 years ago. And so for us to have these instincts that make sense because of how we developed in that moment, but how we continue to carry these instincts now today when we have different situations, when things are much different, it's just so amazing. So it explains why someone can be very fearful or anxious of something that really can't physically hurt them, because the wiring, our wiring as a species and our adaptability to a new environment has now made us believe that this thing can hurt us. And you know, I talk about psychosomatic conditions where we have emotional trauma or emotional hurting or things that are happening on the inside, and as it manifests out in the physical side, and that within itself is basically saying like this instinct that we have, these things that our, you know, species as a whole has in order to kind of make it through life, has now adapted to our modern day environment. So when someone is having a deep anxiety, a panic attack or something like that, it feels like, you know, true danger is happening. And so the reason why I wanted to explain it is that life isn't just happening to you. You have more power than you know, but I think power comes from understanding what's happening first. And when you understand what's happening first, you then empower yourself to be able to make changes or to be in control of how you want to move or what works best for you. I say it all the time, you know, it is important to know what's going on in your body. It's important to understand your lineage and your legacy, because baby, let me tell you something. If you go through life and you have a string of unfortunate events, if you do not know your lineage or your legacy or your ancestors, you might just think other people have it easy. You might just think it's happening to you. But when you have these stories of resilience and you have these stories of people that you come from that have made it through, you know, similar situations or worse, you start to realize, oh, I'm built for this, you know. But if you don't, if you're disconnected and you're just, you know, kind of like a island, then you don't get the benefits of knowing that for generations, people of this species have been able to get to the other side. Because for us, we think the beginning of time is whenever we were born, you know. on you getting out of your own way, because you are contributing to this big picture. That's why I'm always explaining these long stories, because you have to understand that you are contributing to this big picture. So you may feel like in the moment that you are not motivated, or you're anxious, or sometimes you just be like, like, should I really continue to do X, Y, and Z? But just know that you are contributing to the big picture, and it's okay to handle what you may feel moment to moment when times are maybe not going your way, or you have to adjust to a lot of change and things like that. But know that what you do matters. It matters. It matters. It matters. And you should put yourself out there. You should put your energy out there for us to be able to enjoy and to share, because that is what is moving us as a species. It's amazing, Let's just move this through a little bit more. I love, like, reading stories of, like, especially autobiographies of people who, they never, like, they go on to accomplish great things in some field, but they talk about in the beginning where they didn't necessarily feel like they could do it in the beginning. Not that they didn't have the ability to do it, but for some reason, some type of insecurity that came up, and that insecurity probably shows as anxiety, or if you have a lot of tough things that happen at once, then it might go into a bit of a depression, and just all of these other things that may come up as well. And it's just so fascinating that them deciding, okay, well, fuck it, I'm gonna figure it out and just keep going, then they were able to tap into their ability, which they were able to do it, and things just become less anxious because they faced it. And so I say that to say that it is completely normal, however you're feeling at all times. There's no such thing as, like, the normal life. You ever heard people like, I just want to be normal? Baby, there's no such thing. But like, the way you're experiencing life is really how people experience life. It'd be like over here, up here, down there, like all kinds of places. That's normal. That is the norm. That's the norm. So let's normalize the real norm. So, sweetness, I hope this brought smiles to your face as we're going through this healing, because sometimes you just gotta laugh, I think about it often. I'm always thinking about the big picture, and I know that, you all probably like it, but sometimes I can tell that people in my life is like, girl, we just trying to get something to eat today. And I'm like, but think about them. But think about the macro perspective, And then, in the same hand, I do have friends who are like, they want to just get balancing the energy. Moving the energy. Finding peace in this energy. Finding abundance in this energy. Finding all that is. All that is, all that has ever been within you. You got it. 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 Beautiful. Well, family, you did a fantabulous job. Good job. Yay, you, sweetness. Just continue to feel good, you know. I think that it is important that you give yourself permission to walk into life however you need to walk into life, however it may change or it may shift, and that's completely okay, you know. You're not doing it the wrong way. There's not some right way. Every experience is pretty much negotiable. It really is, you know. Go at your own pace now. Okay. Now let's just start right there. Inhale. Exhale. Let's go. So, let's just connect you to your highest form of love. And then as we go into that, as you feel connected there, we're going to do some more Reiki symbols. So just breathing in and out the highest, purest form of love for you. yourself to just a normal sense of balance. A lot of energy. A lot has happened. Just bring yourself here. Just relax. 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 And just let it all go, baby. And move through that. Move through that. Move through that. Okay. Going back in for more Reiki symbols. Aligning, balancing, breathing into each moment, allowing the petals of love to just unfold, to blossom and or bloom, and then just move through that energy. 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 Move through it. Move through it. Move through it. Good job. You're doing a fantastic job. Let's just keep this energy going. And look at you. You're glowing. Okay. Centering yourself in your body. Rooting down where you're at. Feeling good about yourself. Feeling great about yourself. Feeling connected to the love that you have. Just flowing all around you. And using these Reiki symbols to enhance your ability to give and to receive love even more. So let's just go through it. is just beautiful as it is. Allow us the gift to see you as you truly want to be seen, rather than what you think others need to see you as, okay? Don't feel the pressure to live up to other people's expectations. Just live up to your own. And breathe in and out. May I touch you? Okay. Dear universe, and all for the highest vibrational good only, please connect us to our highest self and validate information for our highest good only. Please allow us to release what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I Am Ashe. 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 So, chin up, and allow the sun to flow in your face. And feel the light warming your entire body, your entire being. Accept your greatness. Accept your energy. Accept your focus. Accept all that is you. I'm gently just going to soothe and massage the energy around you to relax you, to allow you to be one with yourself, to allow you to be balanced and at peace with your journey, however that may be unfolding, to enjoy every moment along the journey and embrace each element of this adventure. Breathing in and out. Okay, sweetness. Relax. And just allow your energy to flow down. Flowing down the crown, third eye, throat, heart, solar plexus, sacral root, all the way down. Flowing down. And again, easing the idea of your greatness, of accepting blessings, of being open to the movement of life. Easing that in. Easing that in. Easing that in. Inhaling. Exhaling. Being one in the moment. Reducing the need to question yourself. Accepting the light that is within you, that exists, and shows your greatness. embrace that. Embrace you changing. Being a totally different person than who you started out as. And accepting who you're growing to be. Even if that identity hasn't been fully revealed yet. It's all a part of the process. All a part of the process. The process. Now, pulling out, I'm going to allow you to expand so that you can see your true north, your north node, your northern energy, your forward energy, and open yourself up to some new possibilities in life. What does this life look like now? What is this experience? Where are you going? Where have you been? 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 Sometimes we can hop around from star to star. Our energy can be wherever it needs to be and still be connected to us here. And when we hop around from star to star and we feel from an energetic perspective how it feels on each planet, on each star, how it impacts our energy, we come back to our physical body knowing that everything and that every experience is unique. But more importantly, our problems aren't that big. You look out into the universe and there's so much universe out there. So much universe out there that these little problems we have each and every day, not super important in the big scheme of things. So, because it's not super important in the big scheme of things, why not open ourselves up to letting go? Letting go to old things, old baggage, letting go of new baggage. Why not just allow it to roll off our energy like a cleansing rain on a summer day, releasing from us, releasing from us. Why not cleanse your energy? Step into your new path. Step into this new you. Have patience. Things don't always move quickly, but they move in the right direction. If you're ready to believe that you can make your wildest dreams come to be, it's time for you to step into that light. If you're ready to accept all of that new experience and becoming the new person that you need to be, it is time for you to step into that light. If you're allowing old stuff to just roll off and you're no longer carrying your own baggage, the baggage of other people, it is time for you to step into your light. It's time for our strength, our light, our energy, our ability to find and follow any path that leads us to true happiness. Sometimes that path is finding true love. And when we go down the path of finding true love, it usually is a self-love story. That the moments we start realizing how to commit to ourselves, how to love ourselves unconditionally, we finally demonstrate to other people how to love us. And it's just easier. Love flows easily. Love then is no longer this external thing, but this internal thing. When you expand this and grow further of your purpose, what is your dreams? What do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish here? You have within you the ability to see the path already. And when we're on that path, sometimes we can be distracted by old mindsets that start to creep in. But let's release those and just accept your greatness. And as this unfolds, it's going to take some time. Could take months, could take years. But is it okay for you to understand that your greatness is inevitable? Doesn't matter how long it takes. In fact, when your dreams are bigger, it typically takes longer. But your greatness is inevitable. The longer you convince yourself otherwise, the more suffering that you will experience, the more discomfort. But when you can finally sit in your own power, your own strength, and realize that your greatness is inevitable, you cannot help but flow forward and live a great life, bringing peace into your life, bringing prosperity into your life, bringing real meaning and purpose into your life. Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not see what we all can see? Why not accept what we all have come to accept? Your greatness is key. Your confidence is key. But it is a part of your soul's mission to finally see this. To remove any obstacles that impair your energetic vision. And allow yourself to see who you truly are. When you start to see who you truly are, it might be amazing to realize, oh wow, there is nothing that I cannot figure out, overcome, or get to the other side. There's nothing that I can accomplish. And accepting that. And I would say there's nothing in your soul that you cannot accomplish. If it is in your soul, you have to find a way to make it come to be. Now, I'm not talking about someone else's soul. I'm talking about your soul. What is in your dreams? Things that only you know. You can accomplish it. It wouldn't be there if you couldn't accomplish it. Take your time. It takes time. It takes years. But are you going to give yourself permission to have peace of mind as you go along that path? Are you going to keep trying to dig up the seed to see if it's growing? No, you got to have faith. Have faith that all that you're preparing working really hard, but we have delayed gratification. We're not going to get the benefit or the reward until later. Sometimes we didn't do anything at all. Or we are in need and we have to get something, and then that eventually corrects itself. Okay, so let's just move through. And it is my intention that with every session we have over 700, almost 750 sessions. Wow, that's mind blown. In 3.5 years, 4 years, that's crazy. That's 2 years. Oh wow, that's crazy. That's 2 years of session. You could literally watch a video a day for 2 years and have a different outcome. That's crazy. Anyway, it is my intention that as the sessions progress and things change, that you be empowered to be in control of your own cleansing, of your own removing of energy. Because, I realize, and this is kind of a part of the making peace with the past, I realize that as new people come into the community and kind of people who are already there kind of just chilling, it's going to be a new experience, But at the end of the day, I cannot, within good conscience, make you dependent on me. I just can't. Every session has the intention, even if we're doing work, that I am showing you how to empower yourself to take control, to do what you need to do, to be your top advocate. I think community is all about coming and going, and less about, I think, as I talked about before, like guru syndrome, thinking something or someone is so much better than you when we are the best for ourselves only, like we give the best energy from that perspective, or we should listen to ourselves first and then we can take, perspectives from others. But also, at the end of the day, you will know much better than I will what is best for you. And my intention is to show you how to take away all of that kind of the blinders and the obstacles so you can clearly see and you can just run with it. And then we get to another level where it's just like, okay, then it becomes mind training and mindset training of, in order to get to a new stage that I haven't been at before, even if nothing is going wrong in life, but I want to get to a new stage. What does that look like? How is that? What is that experience? So as you know, babies, I have great expectations for you, but you gotta have expectations for yourself, and that's all about, what we're talking about today, which is releasing the past. Let the past go. I read the comments and I often hear people relate these sessions to therapy. And I think what people probably like is just the collective group energy. You want to be around people who are kind of on your same energy. It doesn't mean it is a replacement for therapy. It is a complement to many things that are available. But what I also know, and it's kind of my critique in therapy, is for a long time therapy was seen as something is wrong with you. How do we get you to normal? But therapy also didn't necessarily have the space of, you feel like you're in a good place, so let's get you to what is your next level. I think that life coaches step in and they'll take you from normal to next level, or sometimes when you're going through things they'll take you from there to next level. But it also kind of bothers me a little bit that therapists are highly regulated. You need to go to school, you need to have credentials, which I think is a good thing. Life coach is not necessarily, you don't really need any credentials to be a life coach, but yet both can be successful, both can be meaningful, both can be successful, both can be meaningful, both can have areas of issues. Like, for example, I feel feel like because in therapy things are so rigid, there's not enough room for the therapist who is like, look, I have enough experience here. I'm just gonna go off and, build people the way I think they should be built, because what are they gonna do? They're gonna threaten your license, your credentials, and stuff like that. I think people still do it, but we need to be encouraging those people to grow and expand. Also making sure that healthcare providers, mental health advocates have their own strong support systems, because I think with this shift in therapy, people think that their therapists are their friends, and they're not. And I think it kind of creates a further issue of one-sided relationships. So if somebody is coming into, a session with a therapist, and they have always had to kind of play the back burner, and the first time they get to come and they get to share their experience, and here it is, somebody is helping them, they may think that this person is their friend, but friend is a two-way street. There's a reason why you don't tell your closest friends every deep dark thing within you. It's a two-way street. First and foremost, I'm one of those friends where I'm like, I do not want to hear anything that's gonna stress me out today. I'm here to have a good time, okay? I'm one of those friends. And for the people that I'm closest to, we can we can talk about deep things, but people know who are around me. If you're gonna talk about something that's real, deep, I need to hear that you are brainstorming options as well. But at the same time, when we look at therapists as a whole, it is a good thing that there are credentials. It is a good thing that these things are regulated, because what I notice, as I've talked about before with the guru syndrome, or even you can say like a life coach, people who don't necessarily have ethical concerns or ethics can really take advantage of people in difficult situations. Now, to go on the other side, where there's the life coach whose goal is really to get you to the next level. That's where we need to be. Not everything has to be trauma. And also, if we're conditioned in society to think that the only time we're allowed to seek therapy is when things are going wrong, versus how can I get to my next level, we will interpret things that aren't that bad as deeply crushing, because that's how we've been set up on a social way, versus someone who is a life coach can get you to another level, can help you get past the fear. The problem is with a lack of credentialing. I think that my biggest critique has to be just this blindness, this intersectional blindness. I've talked about this before. There's a difference between the individual and the systemic, and a lot of life coaches, they'll really master the individual and be like, I can build anything I want to, but then they have this erasure of the systemic. And if you come from a marginalized identity, it almost is like someone telling you, oh, that's not really happening, you're crazy. No, the reality is that is happening. You can find ways to weave around it, but make no mistake, it's happening. And I think life coaches are a little bit afraid to admit that it's happening, because it's like, as I said before, like the whole existential crisis, like, no, it's happening. Discriminatory things happen all the time, but that doesn't mean that you can't figure out how to weave through them. But that doesn't mean society still won't treat you, the way that you present. But that also doesn't mean that you have to live within society's expectations on yourself. So, in a perfect world, have both, or be open that you have different seasons, different reasons you need things at different times. So I say all of that to say that when you want to let go of the past, you probably need some help. You can work on it on your own, which is completely fine, but you have to have a little bit of discernment when you're reaching out to people for help and for guidance, and to set clear expectations. Also, when you're making peace with your past. Understand that even though some things are cyclical, they may come up again. Leave the past in the past. It can be kind of addictive to ruminate. Ruminate means to sit and think about something over and over and over and over again. It can be very addictive to ruminate over these things that have happened in the past. You know, whether you're in your mind where you're like, yeah, they did me wrong, or in your mind where you're like, oh gosh, I can't believe I did X, Y, and Z. It can be very addictive because we live in a society that is very self-critical. But you gotta let that go. You have to disconnect your identity from that, and that also means you gotta disconnect yourself from people who do that too, because you can stop, but if the people in your life still do that, it'll be harder for you to change that behavior and that pattern. And when you're ready to let go of the past, you don't need any huge thing to happen. You simply can say, I'm ready to let go of this, and I'm going to create an environment in my life that reinforces my growth in the future. A lot of times people get so stuck in the past because they're afraid of the future. They're afraid of having to learn something new. The past may not be working, but it's familiar. You know, the future, what is in front of you, has so much potential, but it can be intimidating, it can be challenging, it can be a little bit nervous. It's like being a kid all over again when you're already set in your routine ways. But if you want freedom, it is over there. I think about all the times in my life where I was so afraid of letting something or someone go. And from the perspective now, I'm like, thank God I let something or someone go, because I realized it was my old mindset, my old codependent connections to the routines and things like that that was keeping me there, because I was too afraid of being vulnerable and stepping out into this new path. But stepping out there, doing it, getting it done, I turn back, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I allowed that, you know. Where was bonkers? I was bonkers. But that's a part of it. And I think that, you know, self-healing, self-love, self-care, self-motivation, self-confidence, ambition, they are available to you now. And the less cooks in the kitchen, meaning less, you know, whispers in your ear. Oh no, not like ASMR whispers, like people trying to tell you what to do or how you should do things. The easier it will be for you to decide who you want to be. Sometimes you might be at a place where you're like, I just don't know, I'm overwhelmed. Understand that what you're feeling now is not the law of everything in existence. Just because you may be feeling confused right now, just because you may be feeling like lost right now, just because you might be feeling like you're in a transition right now, doesn't mean that that is all the universe has to offer to you. But in the moment, it feels like this is going to feel like this forever. No, all you got to do is just push past the first step. And the first step is probably not even that hard, but our brain is so smart, it is so strong, that it can make us petrified. It can make, you know, the fear of something worse than the actual thing. I've said this numerous times. I feel like when we do esoteric work, when we do mystical work, when we think about things that are like magical and divination, I strongly believe that the magic comes from the mind. We may have a conduit like our body, we might use our hands, we might, you know, things like that, but I think that on an evolutionary level, the mechanism happens in the mind. That's what I think. You know, I'm waiting for science to catch up. But I think that it happens in the mind, and it maybe signals to different receptors in various ways in our body to do X, Y, and Z. But that's how strong our mind is. So if our mind is equally as strong to create that environment, because we're unaware of how to use our mind, then on the other side, our mind is equally as strong to create the environment that we want. We're aware to use our mind. And I'm telling you, as someone who has been on this journey for quite a long time, as someone who has been interested in esoteric things, health things, wellness, spiritual, religion, esoteric wellness field, as someone who's like experienced those things, it is up to you to decide what is important to you, that what is your standards, to set the standards for yourself. If you're looking for an answer outside of yourself, you're never going to be able to find it. You won't. That's okay, because it lets you know that even if you're confused right now, even if you're like, I don't know what I'm doing, where I'm going, just know that even in this confusion, even in sadness, anxiety, depression, even stagnation doesn't even have to be extreme as those traumas. Stagnation, just things aren't moving the way you thought they should move. Even in all of that, the answer is still within you, and you just have to pull back those layers in order to get to the answer. But within you, in that moment, the answer resides. It's oh my gosh, I started thinking where the money resides. Even within you, the answer resides in that moment. So all you gotta do is create the environment where you can be calm enough to release the old patterns and to embrace what it is that you want your life to be. And I'm gonna keep it very real with you. That comes with a certain level of independence. If you're financially dependent on friends, family, or relationship, it's really, 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 really extremely hard to separate yourself from those dynamics. So sometimes you gotta figure out, you gotta be like, okay, what do I need to do in order to create my little world? Your little world can just be, off to the side at this turn, at this time of the day or something like that. But watch it as you prioritize it. It grows, and it's gonna take up more and more and more of your life. It's gonna push some people out. But you can't have a life where people are disrespectful to you, or people are, don't value you because they don't value themselves. But just because you care for them or you love them, you keep them in your life. I mean, it's just not gonna work. But just know that may be uncomfortable, that may be difficult, but when you get to the other side, it just feels better. Things are simpler, You don't have to work as hard. I feel like society makes us feel as though we have to work hard for the bare minimum. And that's a whole nother, rabbit hole that I'll probably talk about on the podcast, Organize Your Purpose. But society, trains us to want to stay in our places, versus if we want to be free on multiple levels, we have to give ourselves that freedom. And so if the past is in the past, leave the past in the past. I don't care if, people are still associating you with that past. Who, me? No, I don't know who you're talking about. Because it's all about, where are you going? Being more meaningful, not having to live up to other people's expectations, not having to do all that stuff. Just go to where you feel drawn to. So we start our session off with a prayer. It is not a religious prayer. It is just a prayer to root us in our individual healing experience, and to bring us together as a community and as a collective. And because consent matters, to have your permission to say a prayer. May it touch you. Dear universe, and all for the highest vibrational good only, please connect us to our highest self and validate information for our highest good only. Please allow us to release what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I Am. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Okay. Love shows up in many ways in our life. And if this is not your first time here with me, I really, really emphasize self-love being the key to having healthy love and healthy loving dynamics. But love can teach us a whole lot of things. It can teach us patience, kindness. It can help us self-reflect. make changes. Even if you don't consider yourself a person who is vulnerable with others, the fact that you even have that awareness in that space of love is much more than, perhaps other dynamics in a person's life. But love carries messages. Always feel that when you connect to the universe, divine, God, or whatever it is that you specifically believe in, I tell you all the time, that's your business to figure out what you believe in. That ain't got nothing to do with me. But when you connect to whatever is out there, that is pure, unconditional love. Unconditional. And I talked about this before. A lot of people have fear-based love. Fear-based love in their faith, their spiritual path, their religion. Fear-based love in their relationships, family, romantic, platonic. Fear-based in themselves, being super critical. And I am of the perspective that if love is unconditional, it has to be unconditional. As someone who really, really enjoys history, like y'all know I love history, like I will go down, and I mean like human history, like I go down random tangents about us as a species, as someone who is like that, what I've noticed as I've learned more and more is that a lot of fear-based that is surrounding faith and religion is more about control and less about actually the meat and potato of the religion. All of these kind of rules and regulations that are pretty much socially constructed a lot of times cause more harm than help. And with that perspective, when you connect to, and this is what I like to call, the universe, source, God, that's what I like to say. I like to say the universe. When you connect to the universe, it is unconditional love. You don't have to do anything. There's not a particular set of rules. And I think that is super important when it comes to why people struggle with self-love. Because if at the core of your understanding of the divine is conditional, you make your own self-love conditional as well. But the core of your structure with the divine, the universe, is unconditional. You then stop requiring yourself to have to be at a certain place in life, have to have a certain thing before you start loving yourself and really truly appreciating yourself. And that can be really hard to realize because we live in society. We have societal norms, different societies, different norms, but us as a species, we tend to kind of collect in groups. And in order to be accepted by a group, whether that is, a clique or a larger society, there are certain norms and there are certain rules. And the moment that a person realizes that on the individual journey, the rules are not as helpful, maybe on a social, systemic kind of group dynamic is a little bit different, but on an individual level, those rules are not helpful. I think it puts the person in this kind of existential crisis, because what do you do when everything around you is reinforcing a type of toxic love, but you truly are on your healing path to something better? Now, it doesn't mean that all societies are bad because they have rules and stuff like that. It probably would be complete anarchy if there weren't any rules. But I think that we can, separate and coexist between the two. We can be in a world where there are certain rules and expectations, but what is, great for the gander may not be good for the goose. I hear this all the time because what I notice when I look at kind of like the big picture of things is a lot of ways to get out of whatever is holding you back. But when you go by already pre-established routes, there's only thousands of ways or maybe hundreds of ways, so it limits you. So I'm of the perspective that any person can completely, drastically change their life on their own. But just because you drastically change your life doesn't mean that society will drastically change how it interacts with you. Does that make sense? We gonna get to the love, babies, but I just kind of want to explain to why these seeds are planted for how people could, feel about love. But just because you drastically change your life doesn't mean society follows through. I am still a black woman. I'm still a gay woman. I'm still a woman who, comes from a lot of marginalized backgrounds. I'm in no confusion of, the scenarios and situations that I can see in the world. But I also am an individual who is strongly connected with their internal path. So I don't really see any obstacles for me. Like, things seem like when I want something or when there's something that is in my focus, I feel like, I can see how it's attainable. And I think I don't want as much as I used to. When I kind of looked at things from a social perspective, I wanted more. But as an individual perspective, I feel like I have so much already. I don't want as much. And I think what I do want is, typically I want things to be more meaningful. And can I do something that is more meaningful? And what amount of effort really goes into that? Versus on a social or a societal level, the energy is different. The energy is like, wanting the collective. Let me not say collective, because I feel like collective, I want to use collective in a different way. Wanting society to accept you with the same level of acceptance that you give yourself. It's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. But sometimes people put the standards of their life based off of society. Well, I'll accept myself as much as society accepts me. And if you have a bunch of marginalized identities, that's going to be very difficult. Also, if you have more privileged identities, it's also going to be difficult to make changes. It's going to be difficult to want to transform the soul, because if society is propping you up, it's going to be hard to make changes in love. It's going to be hard to make changes in how you see the world and actually doing more meaningful things, because why would you, So I said all of that to say, you are never truly stuck. If you ever feel like in love that you don't have the love you're looking for, that the right person has not shown up, that you just don't feel good about yourself, that you feel very conditional, like, when I look this way, or when I have this thing, or when I'm at this space, or when I make this amount of money, or whatever it is for you, then the right person, I hope the right person shows up, or I hope that my parent will treat me right, or I hope that or I'll be surrounded by friends that are X, Y, and Z. Baby, when you put conditions on the love that you have for yourself, love will never come. It won't come, or it will come in a very conditional way. And the crazy thing about it is, you'll probably outgrow the condition before it shows up in your life. So having this connection to the universe in a very unconditional way of just, universe, love on me. I'ma love myself, I was like, I'm gonna love on myself. Universe, love me. And I'ma love myself. I'ma love myself wholly, because I think the most respectful thing that we can do as, energy in the universe is to just be grateful to be energy in the universe. To evolve. I think that in our evolution as a species, in our evolution on this planet, all of the living things on this planet, we're moving closer and closer and closer to a higher understanding of things. actually, I would think that, single-celled organisms just getting there and learning to develop like eyes and, hearing stuff, but let's say we're jumping in time and, we're kind of fully formed beings now, and we're much more, fight or flight. We're much more in just in that moment, in that adrenaline, just trying to survive by, finding our meals and things like that, which is, unfortunately, in a modern world, people are still trying to survive to simply just get meals. And, during those times, it would make sense that our body would be in a constant state of anxiety to keep us alive. Now, it doesn't really make sense. And the anxiety probably comes from, we have a lot of like stimulation, we have a lot of mental stimulation, we have a lot of information. This is the age of information, so we have a lot of information being thrown at us at one time, and that can just completely boggle down the brain. The brain needs rest. Even if we're not physically taking movement, the brain still needs rest. And if you have all of these social norms, this is how you should be in love, this is how a relationship should go, this is how you should love yourself. Nope, I changed it. That's how that you should love yourself. It can just be so overwhelming on various levels. And so when I say love is healing, what I'm saying to that is you have to separate yourself from the individual and the systemic. When you really want to work on making changes, when you really want to transform your life, you got to sit in the individual energy and say, fuck all this shit. I'm gonna be over here in the individual, and I'm going to drastically change things. I'm not gonna let people treat me crazy. I'm not gonna treat people crazy. Any goal that I want it to be meaningful. I don't want to just say I want something. I want it to be meaningful. Anything that is in my heart is possible to happen. And if it doesn't happen, it's because there's something bigger and greater along the path. And 5, I don't have a fifth, but that's the energy. And sometimes you got to separate yourself from people. You cannot be around the people who are not vibrating at the energetic level you're at and expect to make changes. That's your fans, your family, and that's romance. Okay? Sometimes you got to let those people go as you are growing. And then of course you can re-invite them, or you will meet new people and things like that. But if you feel like you're suffering in love, you haven't found the right person, take a step back and really just love on yourself. Take care of yourself. Take a break, from that energy, and just treat yourself. Demonstrate to yourself how you would want a partner to treat you. Demonstrate to yourself how you would want your family to treat you. Demonstrate to yourself how you want your friends to treat you. And after a while, you set a standard for yourself. You create a routine for yourself. You create an expectation. So when you reintroduce yourself to your family or new people, you expect a certain thing, and they gotta straighten up or ship out. They cannot be in your energy, in your space, if they don't do that. But when you never take yourself out of that environment, you will constantly make excuses to kind of drag people along and allow them to treat you in a type of way. And the way we allow people to treat us is a reflection of how deserving we feel of love. And the purpose of love is not that. The purpose of love is healing. If you've ever had like a really difficult medical condition that you've got to the other side, some experience a sense of, wow, this was trying to tell me something. And seeing the beauty in even kind of the darkest of those times. But also, it doesn't mean that now you just have to live by a standard where you gotta get gravely sick in order to learn something. No, you understand that sickness told you something so that you would never have to go back there again. But maybe you were unaware before. Maybe you didn't realize how you were treating yourself or how you were allowing other people to treat you, and that psychosomatic condition manifested in that ways. But now when you know better, you do better, because there's a little bit of like, don't want to be there again. I'm not going to do that. You burn your hand on the stove, you're not going to put it back there. So ultimately, this healing is readily available and accessible to you, and you can have it if you want it. highest self only. Please allow us to let go of that which we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I Am. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. So we're going to get started by just working your energy a little bit. This is just relaxing, just to get you in a space where you feel very comfortable with yourself. On this journey, the most important part is feeling comfortable with yourself. So, just going through, moving that energy through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So where we're at, we're just going to work through a smile to your face. Feel yourself get lighter and lighter and lighter. Lighter and lighter and lighter. Good job. Good job. Just moving through that energy. Moving through that energy. Moving through that energy. Moving through that energy. Just sending it on to the place it needs to go. Just moving it on in its path. that out, removing it, and allow it to go. Allow it to go. Allow it to go. Allow it to go. Just taking anything else that needs to be taken, removing it, sending it on to its next evolutionary path. Good job. 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 Okay. Good job. Okay. Beautiful. Well, family, you did an excellent job today. So for all of my new babies, welcome, welcome, welcome. And for all of my returning babies, welcome, welcome, welcome back. Mama loves you. So as we get started in this session today, we start with a prayer. And it is not a religious prayer, it's just a prayer to root us in our individual healing experience and to bring us together as a collective and as a community. And because consent matters, do I have your permission to say a prayer? Okay. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. You can bring your hands to heart. Dear universe, and all for the highest vibrational good only, please connect us to our highest self and validate information from our highest good only. Please allow us to release what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I am. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Okay. So blessings, protecting the energy, baby. I say it all the time. The older I get, the lower my threshold for bullshit is. That's just a fact. Okay. It's just a fact. The lower the threshold is. And you know, years before you have a higher threshold. It's just a part of life. But then, you know, you start realizing that you don't have to suffer in order to know that something is not for you. You know, you really don't have to suffer. Cinnamon. Just cleansing some and bringing some grounding with cinnamon. You do not have to suffer, okay, to know that something is not for you. And protecting your energy means sometimes you need to be in your own space. I remember when I was younger and I had these big dreams of having a totally different life than the life that I grew up in. And I remember how frustrating it would be because when You're very vulnerable, you're very open. You ever started a new job? Maybe in your old job things happen this way, but when you start a new job, you're optimistic, you're more adaptable, you'll fit into whatever the culture of that job is. That's how it is when you make any change or any transition or move in any direction forward. You're open and vulnerable, so you have to be mindful that as you are going to these next steps, as you are trying this new thing or that new thing, that you don't have the same old limiting energy in. And this in no way is to judge the people, situations, or circumstances that you are around. Everything is purposeful, okay? But it also means you have to learn how to detach. You cannot take everybody with you. You cannot take everybody with you. And more importantly, you cannot take your mentality with you. I think that's more important than the can't take everybody with you. Because that, I think, is it's very external. You can leave things where they're at. But the whole mentality, you cannot take your mentality with you as you are going to your next level. You have to be open to change, to move, and to mature into that next level. That means what is real in this reality may not be real in this next level of your mentality and in your mindset, and making peace with that. Because we can quickly want to look outside of ourselves and blame this person or that person or this situation or that situation for how we feel. But also knowing at the end of the day, it is our choice to hold on to things. Because let's be honest, time is not really a thing, or forever just living in the moment. We know about, yesterday only because maybe we took a picture yesterday or we talk about yesterday. But we can't really prove yesterday existed. Like, we can take a picture and say this is what we did yesterday with a newspaper with that date. But does that prove that it happened? Can you go back, to yesterday and, now if you go down a rabbit hole and feel like, oh, I'm living in all time at one time, just know that's not what I'm trying to talk about. What I'm trying to talk about is we're forever living in now. Now is the only moment that actually really exists. Now is the only thing that really exists ever. So what happened to us previously only continues to happen to us because we choose to bring it with us. And it might be an unconscious choice. It might be something that, as I talk about the micro lessons that we have to learn in this life, it might just be that. But when we get to that point of evolution in our consciousness, our mindset, our spiritual growth, emotional growth, our health in general, we then can make the decision of I don't want to take that with me. I don't want to take that. It doesn't work anymore. knows how things were as reality. And when you introduce something new in the hope that this is where I want to go, the old self can only react in what it's known. If it's known only pain and trauma and uncomfortableness and all of that, it can only react like that. But you take little steps each and every day and you work through whatever's coming up to get to the other side. You don't always have to stay here. It's about going to your next level. And when you get to the other side, you'll begin to notice that you no longer have the same mindset. The mindset is not the same. You're not the same person. And the most powerful thing within us is our mind. I always say the magic is in the mind. It is here. This is what makes it happen. In energy healing, we can use our hands as tools. In anything that we do, we can use our voice as a tool. We can use all of these things. But it starts here. This is the crown. This is where source energy flows into. This is that tells everything else in the body to work and to be life. This is, the strongest part of us. But it can also be the most challenging part when we're not able to connect and work and grow and nurture it in the direction that is best for us. You have that ability. You have that possibility. No matter how low you've ever felt or you may feel, no matter how uncomfortable in the moment you may feel, you have within you already the ability to get to a better place. And you just have to work through it. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it's gonna be uncomfortable. Because as you're working through it, you have to literally smush the old you mindset to the corner and embrace off of pure hope and faith the new mindset. And whenever the old mindset pops up and says things like, well, it's not gonna work out, every time I try to do this it doesn't work, or it's just me, or I just am in the way, you have to do your best to smush the old mindset and make peace with it. I'm sorry, I can't think like that anymore. Whenever you feel that anxiety or something coming up for something you want to do, but you feel like it's just bubbling up, you just gotta make peace with it. I'm sorry, I can't think like that. I can no longer think like that anymore. I don't care how uncomfortable it is over here. I'm gonna keep walking in this direction because this is where I need to go. And understand that the old mindset is just trying to keep you safe. That's all it really is. But the soul is here to live out its purpose. And in order to get to the purpose, you gotta keep walking in that direction. And that process of the pulling and then pulling yourself is what creates this evolution and this growth, this higher understanding. So you get to a point where you're no longer impacted. But it just starts with a little bit. That's all. That's what consistency is. So protecting your energy is so important because as you are doing this, as I said before, you're vulnerable. So you don't need to be exposed to a lot of convoluted, codependent interactions with your environment. Simplify everything. If you gotta take a step back and just be with yourself sometimes, simplify it. Get yourself on the path you need to and then re-emerge. Just breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. And go and live life. And embrace the micro lessons. You don't have to be weird and be like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited that this is uncomfortable. No, I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that challenge is a part of the progress. You get a lot from it. But just know in the back of your head, nothing is too big for me. Like, that's it. That's the change. That's the shift. Nothing's too big for me. Oh my gosh, I feel like I, am so horrible, and my biggest pain and biggest hurt and biggest secret will come out as I move in success. No, it won't. Because as I said before, the past only exists if you bring it with you. There's nothing in front of you that is strong enough to knock you So sometimes you gotta move even when it's difficult. Sometimes you gotta find that extra to get you to the next part of your journey. Whatever that is for you. Take your time too. There's no race, there's no expectation of what you should have accomplished by this time. People make that up all the time. When it was ready for you and you're ready, that's it. Because the last thing you need is you being extra hard on yourself, which would eventually just encourage you to go back to over there. It doesn't have to be perfect. The line don't look like this, it look like this. But as long as you find it a way, that's okay. Breathing in. So now just putting a sense of protection over you so that you understand that you are highly favored, highly loved, but powerful. It's not that just these energetic helpers around you are there for you. When I say energetic helpers, your understanding of the divine, God, universe, whatever, angels, ancestors, stuff like that. It's not just that energy. The power comes from you. You are the life force. You are the expression. You have it within you, no matter how down you are, how low you are, how sad it is. There is always an infinite amount of energy burning in you that can light yourself up and take you on your path. Take your time. Just take your time. Take your time. And say to the universe exactly what you want. I will find the doctor that will help me with this condition. I will find the right partner that I can build a life with. I am finding them. I am finding this doctor. I am finding this, that. I will have the right business, or I have the right business that brings me happiness and also brings me financial security. Whatever it is that you want, I have the right community around me in which I enjoy. I have the right family around me. Whatever it is that you want right now in life. Big picture and small picture. Tell the universe what you want and go after it. And understand that, as I said before, you cannot take people with you. You can't force someone to love you. You can't force someone to be your family. You can't force a job that's not working to work. You can't force your old understanding of your medical condition and want to heal from old ways if it didn't work. You have to have a new outlook. Okay, well, let me try this new doctor. Or, okay, well, let me try this new community. Or let me try this new thing or that new thing. It's about that. If it didn't work before, perhaps you learned what you needed to learn from it and you're ready to move on. But if you want to be successful here, you have to protect your energy. That means at any time, for any reason, if you need to take a step back to work on yourself, protect yourself, to heal yourself, to be in your own healing space, do it. You don't have to have permission. You don't have to feel like, oh my gosh, I have to have this irrational responsibility to fill in the blank. No. If you're not good, anything that you touch will not be to the highest potential that you could bring out into this life. So take a step back and work on yourselves, babies. Well, babies, I'm going to smooth you over and seal you with the sign of the infinity. And so, if no one has said it, I love you, okay? But who cares that I love you? The only thing that matters is that you love you. So you gotta learn to love yourself a little bit more each and every day. And babies, when I say protect your energy, I mean it. Don't feel like you have to show up for, a friend if you don't really want to. Don't feel like you have to continue to push a relationship that's not working for you if you don't want to. Don't feel that you have to be tethered to a job because you feel like, oh, this is a good job, supposed to be a good job. Like if you don't want to do it, you don't have to. Don't feel like you have to stay in the same faith, religion, spiritual traditions if it's no longer there for you. You don't have to do any of those things. All you have to do is take care of yourself and live to the highest value and potential that you can. Don't feel that you have to accept the diagnosis, the medical diagnosis. If you feel like there is more out there, there's always more out there. There's other accept the diagnosis. Even when I'm gonna tell you the truth. Even when I didn't have any money, I'm like, I'm gonna figure this out. I did whatever I could within reason at that moment. But as soon as I got some money, baby, and that's why I'm saying be grateful if you have access to health insurance, or if you have the means and the money to take care of yourself, because it is not easy if you don't. But also know that there are many options, many natural options there, that as we see more and more research come out in regular medicine, looking at these everyday plants and herbs around us, that they can help us too, and it's more accessible and cheaper too. But if you don't have that education, you don't have access, if you don't have a skilled practitioner who is working with you and helping you through that, it can be very daunting. And so I say all of that to say there is nothing in life that you cannot have. You just cannot accept where you're at if it is not where you want to be at. Well, I'm gonna get off my soapbox, okay? So I'm just going to separate their need to suck from you, okay? And just remove that. You do not have to live up to their expectations. You do not have to feed them. You do not have to let them drain you. Okay, that's first and foremost. Now, let's just get into little pieces of the energy that needs to be let go. Sometimes we got too much of a good thing. That's a thing too. We have so much energy built up and you don't know how to let it go, so then it just becomes and it turns into anxiety. So what we're gonna do here is just remove that from the space here and just release it from your energy and remove it so that you do not have to worry about that. Now, let me just check in here, okay? Just gonna do one at a time. Okay. Good job. Good job. Now, just opening this pathway up and just allowing, as you exhale, to release anything that no longer serves you, to remove it from your energy as a whole. You don't gotta deal with that. That's not your problem. Let that be whatever else's problem. That's not your problem. You don't need to be concerned with that. You got more important matters, like your dreams and your hopes and your goals and your pursuits and your purpose. So I'm just going to move through this energy, releasing anything that's taking up too much space. I'm just going to go in and do some cleansing, okay? Just cleansing here. Good job. Okay. Now, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. I know a lot came up. So, this is cinnamon. And I start off with a fresh piece of cinnamon every year to work through the experience. And so, just cleansing this out for the cinnamon. Just cleansing the cinnamon out. Cinnamon can be very grounding, can be very helpful with anxiety. It can be very helpful with anything that just causes us to not feel like we have a firm hold on our life. Okay? And it's spicy too. You know who don't like no cinnamon? Okay, I'm gonna do just a little bit more and then we're gonna go back So for anything that may have shown up now, I'm gonna go back in and just do the work of releasing any newness, anything that might have been deep inside of you that you needed to let go, anything that you forgot about. Now I forgot that that was just sitting there hanging out, you know. Release and let that go. Release and let that go. Surrender to yourself and let that go. Okay. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful energy here. Okay, relax. Relax. Relax here. Okay, relax. Just want to be very gentle here as I'm working with your energy. And just want it to be very relaxed. Very relaxed. Very relaxed. Very relaxed. Very relaxed. Move, breathe in and out. 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 And just take that. Take that. Take that. Take that. Remove that. Moving it on to its next karmic experience, releasing it from you. You no longer have to deal with that. Allowing it to be let go. Let go. Let go. Removing this. Removing this. Removing this. Removing this. Removing this from your energy. So I'm just going to take a couple moments of taking it out. Taking it out. Taking it out. Okay. Good job. Good job, sweetness. Good job, sweetness. Good job, sweetness. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And breathe in and out here. Relax. Now we're just gonna do one little piece at a time, okay? Because we got a lot out. We let a lot go. Good job. 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 And relax into this. So let's just move through this energy. I'm just going to calm you here. Just going to calm you here. You got this. It's okay. Even when you feel like you don't have it, you do. Feelings and reality, they're two different things. Feelings are beautiful. They can motivate us. We can use them to propel us in different directions. Okay, but the actual feeling itself is just that. Just because you have a feeling, it doesn't make it true. Now, moment and watching the outcome. Am I not doing something out of fear or because this isn't what I need to do? Because a lot of time you might have the urge to do something and you have a sense of just saying no, shouldn't do that. Or you might have the urge to not do something and you have a sense of like, no, I'm gonna do this. But other times it might be feeling space. You gotta do something but you're afraid to do it. That's a feeling space. That's not intuition. Or the opposite of that can be true too. So learning how to tell the difference, learning how to work with the energy and the elements and these principles of the universe in order to live the life that you want to live rather than just having life happen to you, okay? Couple more breaths here. Removing any old patterns, any old beliefs, anything that no longer serves you, that makes you feel that you are not enough, that there is something missing. No, everything is found within you. And you have to validate that for yourself each and every day. Don't wait until someone validates that for you, because you're going to have an existential crisis once they stop. Or maybe just a regular life crisis. And you also don't need to constantly validate others. Let them do it themselves. Only share when you feel genuine in sharing, okay? Don't feel like you have to please people at all times. That is unnecessary. It's okay. They can do it on their own. And just relax into this. Okay, so keep breathing here and just finding space in who you are, trusting in who you are, breathing into who you are, relaxing into who you are, and just holding the space for yourself. You got this. You're doing a great job. And things are in your control, even if it doesn't feel that way. It is. Embrace that. Embrace that sense within you. Embrace that. Embrace that sense of knowing, that sense of understanding, that sense of clarity. Embrace that. Embrace that. Embrace that. Embrace that. Good job. Well, family, you did a fantastic job today. I hope you enjoyed our cord cutting session so that you release and let go of all of the things that get in the way of your flow, baby, okay? I enjoyed our session together. Continue to take care of yourself. Continue to breathe life into your passions, into your path, into your purpose. And if no one has said it, sweetness, let me go ahead and say this to you. I love you, but who cares that I love you? The only thing that matters is that you love you, because your self-love is what propels you forward in difficult times and good times and regular times, okay?